Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for another one. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my planner routine from start to finish. I'm going to share with you everything that I do on a monthly and weekly basis to make sure that I'm fully prepared for the week. And so let's just get into it. So I recently shared with you guys a flip through of my planner and it has changed even since then. I mean, we are fully stuffed, okay? So there's a lot going on in here. I added a lot more inserts, sections, different things. I got this thing the way I really want it and I'm really liking the whole vibes of it, okay? So maybe in the future I'll do a flip through for you guys so you can see how that all looks. But I had to add this elastic band here, which is gonna be included in our collection club box that is shipping at the end of the month, along with this pin loop, which is gold. It's so pretty. There's lots of gold vibes in this box. And then also these bookends that I clipped onto the end of my cover. They are so gorgeous. So those will be included just like as a freebie item for the subscription box as well. Y'all, there is a lot going on in my house. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb because they are for sure disturbing me, okay? Now I need to get through this video so I can show you guys what's on the inside. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys some changes. So comment below and let me know if you want to see another flip through of this planner and I will share with you a flip through. You see why I needed that elastic band, because we are over capacity, okay? I do also have a pin loop at the back of this that I typically keep my pin in, but I like having access to it on the cover too. So that way, as I'm using my pin and planning for the week, I don't have to keep putting it back and forth in the elastic, because I do like to keep it in either the elastic or this piece because I'll lose my pin. So yeah, that's a whole situation for me. So having it on the front just allows me to quickly stick my pin in when I'm not using it, but I plan on using it again momentarily, okay? So I've got anniversary cards that I need to hand out. So I keep those in here too so I don't forget. Okay, so we're talking about my planner routine. And for me, that all starts with my at a glance pages, okay? And y'all, by the way, our at a glance pages for 2024 have been completely redesigned and I think you guys are gonna really love them, and the planner box is coming soon. So stay tuned because I should be dropping a video this week sharing with you guys the details of that, okay? So my at a glance page is where I come and I dump out different events and things that are coming up. So that way I have it already planned. The at a glance pages, as you can see, allows you to be able to plan for the whole entire year. And so I'll come here and I'll plan out my month here first. Even if the month hasn't started yet and I want to do a little pre-planning, it's always going to be in my at a glance pages first, okay? That's where everything starts for me, okay? And so I'll come in and I'll just plan out the entire month. Again, let's say October, I want to go ahead and start planning for. I'll just plan out the whole entire month, and when I'm ready to plan out that month and those weekly inserts, I come here first to check in to see exactly what I have going on. So as you can see, the whole month of September is planned for, and so that made it super easy for me to be able to transition it or transfer it over into my full month of planner inserts, okay? When it comes to just jotting down random things, like let's say it may not be necessarily be an appointment or a thing that has a date or time tied to it, then I always dump that in my inbox section, which I do have up here. I did have my inbox section first, but I decided to move it back here. And I do have a top tab for that so I can easily get to it. So I have these task list inserts, and then I believe I also have our inbox inserts. So I'll just come here really quick if I just need to jot down an idea, and this could be for any section of my planner, so it doesn't have to just go for my regular calendar section. It could be for work or whatever. Then I'll come here and I'll just dump it out really quickly so that I know that it is something that I need to do, but it may not be a time tied to it, and if it is a time tied to it, then I'll put that in the deadline section. Then I'll also visit here in order to see what I can pull from this list, and I'll transfer over to my at a glance pages. So this is just random random brain dump, okay? And I think that's important for me because I have to be able to get those thoughts and ideas out of my head and get them onto paper, so that way there's more of a chance that they'll get completed, okay? So the at a glance pages are designed with the calendar here. You could also put a little dot. Sometimes I'll put a little sticker dot or highlighter dot on certain dates so that I know there's an event going on that day. And y'all, the new at a glance pages are going to be complete game changers in terms of doing that and just being able to track everything more efficiently. So I think you guys are going to really like the changes, okay? So that's the first step in my planner routine, is my monthly. Also, I thought I would make a quick note to you that we do have planner routine inserts. So if you need to be able to refer to something to see exactly what the planner routine should be starting out until you get the hang of things, we do have this in vellum form, and then this is just your paper inserts, and that tells you what you could be doing or you should be doing daily, weekly, and monthly, okay? So we talked about my at a glance pages, okay, which is here. All right, and then transferring unfinished tasks for the previous months are also going to be put on those at a glance inserts and then transferred onto my monthly inserts, okay? So follow these things out and you'll be able to effectively plan your month. And so this is the next step in the process for me, all right? So I come here on my monthly spread and I'll go ahead and transfer all of those things that I had on my at a glance pages to my monthly. So everything that you see here for September, all of this stuff is on my monthly spread, okay? So I'll put everything from appointments to even recurring things. So like a lot of things like Addison Study, we do every Monday. She has tutoring and tennis every Tuesday. You know, our meetings and stuff occur every week. I put all of that here on my monthly calendar. I even started to put bills. So I have this little calendar here, which is one of our sticky notes, calendar sticky notes. And I have a little highlighted triangle up in the corner that shows me that there's a bill due on that day. And then I have a whole financial section that breaks that down. So this calendar does house a lot of different things from the various sections here, but it doesn't have anything work related because I have a whole nother section for that. So I come here, I date everything, and I plan out my month. Now for our planner box, again, which is launching soon, I've listened to you guys and you said that you didn't want the shaded weekends. So I removed the shaded weekends, and this week, and this monthly calendar just has a more clean look. But I hope to add dated inserts sometime in the future, so we'll have to see when that will occur. It's just a lot of work to do dated every single year for every single layout we have. Okay, so that's next. Our monthly spread. Now you could add stickers, you could do a lot of different things with this layout to make it pop. But for me, I just like to write in what's important, and I don't always use stickers to indicate, you know, anything. I just write it out, okay? So I do that here in my regular calendar section, and then I also do this in my work section. So I'll go ahead and add in the next month. I typically only keep 1 month at a time, but sometimes I'll keep more than one, especially in my regular calendar section. I kept 3 months, and then we are done with August. So I just kept August out, and then I have September and October. So I typically keep 3 maybe in the calendar section, just depends on how bulky my planner is. And then the other sections only include 1. And I use different layouts for every single section of my planner, okay? Again, this is a catch-all planner, so this is gonna give me every single thing I need. I don't have to pull another planner. I just keep everything in this planner, and then I have other planners that I pull the inserts out every single month to put into that planner, so that way I have the whole year of inserts. At the end of the year, I reflect and then I purge those out. I don't keep them unless there's something sentimental in them, then I'll keep them a page or 2, you know? So when it comes to my work section, there's a lot of different things that I track. I write some random goals and things that I know I need to do on the left-hand side. And then I also write in all of my YouTube videos for every single day. And that's typically what I put here. And then also when I put a blog post, I write that in as well. And then I do my stats. So how many YouTube subscribers, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, and Amazon Live. I also write in new releases, so that will remind me that I need to upload those and do whatever I need to do to get those out. And that's pretty much everything that I write on my monthly section, okay? Then we get to the weekly, okay? And we'll talk about that when we get to the weekly part of the process. Typically, I'll do my monthly first, and I do that at the end of the month. month, every single month. And I do that at the end of the month, every single month, before I even do my weeklies. I go ahead and get my monthlies out the way, and then I'll go in and do my weeklies, okay? And then when it comes to monthlies as well, I used to do my meal planning by the month, but now I do that by the week. So we'll talk about that when it comes to the weekly planning, okay? And then I also do the school planning for Addison. So I have just a little sticky here that gets me easily to that page. And then we get to the school planning, okay? And you'll see the various layouts that I use for the different sections of my planner when we get to that part. So when it comes here, I write her grades, I write any tests that she has coming up, I write any school events, I write some things that I want to do at home with her if we have digital learning days, I write the newsletter when that comes out, I write reminders to plan lunches for the week, to lay out her clothes, every single thing that I can think of that is just school related for her. So that way I can stay on track with those things, and I can make sure that I'm ahead of the game, and I can work alongside the teacher so we can make sure that she's the best student possible, okay? And then we get to the financial section. So the financial section is a place where I come in and I write out a couple of different things. Now this is just for myself. This isn't for our family budget. So just take note of that. This is just for anything that I earn from YouTube, any of my various income sources, and then any of my credit card bills and my personal bills that I handle on my own, okay? Now this is in the subscription tracker. I just have that here. I need to wipe that out. This is really just a standard page that I keep in here that tells me my credit cards, it tells me the limit, and it tells me when the frequency is, the minimum payment, and when it's due by, okay? So I just keep this in here for reference. And then I have this page here. As I start to pay those bills, I can go ahead and write in the balance, and I can check it off as paid, all right? And then I have my income tracker. And this is something that I do at the end of every month, usually. Sometimes I can do it earlier because sometimes I know I'm getting paid from a particular place before the end of the month. So it just all depends on the platform. So I come here and I write in what I'm anticipating I'm going to be paid, so that way I'll know how much income I'm bringing in personally. This isn't Fancy Plans Go. This isn't anything dealing with my husband. This is all just my income from social media, okay? So I keep that on this income tracker, all right? So I do write that in, and so typically you'll see the dates here. And there's also things that say withdraw, so I'll let things build up and I may not withdraw it. So I just put a note there to let myself know that it's still in that account and I haven't pulled it out yet. And everything else with a date next to it means that's what I'm gonna get paid, okay? So those are things that I do when it comes to financial at the beginning of every single month, which really just involves me tracking my payments when I pay stuff, and then also my income tracker and writing in when I'm going to be paid. And that's pretty much all that I do for my personal income. Again, this is just a standard page telling me when I got to pay things, and then I do transfer those bills for the week onto my weekly schedule to remind myself to pay those things. So for instance, the 1st, 2nd, and 4th, I believe, were all in one week. And so these 3 bills went on the previous week's planner weekly insert so that I could remind myself to pay those things. Okay, so that's how that works for me, and this has been a great system for me. All right, then we get to fitness. All right, so when it comes to fitness, I use my food, fitness, and calorie inserts. I love these inserts, and I do pop them in my week. Just giving you a quick peek at how they look. I'm doing a lot of different things to try to lose weight, y'all. It's just a constant process for me, so it's been a real struggle, but we're just gonna keep trying, okay? So I'm gonna show you how that looks once I get to my weekly view, because I don't keep it in this section, but it is something that I plan for, and usually it is done on a weekly basis, but I could come here and I could plan my whole entire month. This is a week, this is a week, so I could take 4 of these or 2 pages and go ahead and plan my whole entire month of meals. So that's what works for me, and then of course there are things that I transfer from this onto my weekly calendar, but we're just mainly talking about the monthly and what I do at the beginning of the month, okay? When it comes to my faith stuff, I typically will write this stuff in on the monthly spread. I'm showing you what's included in this section because again, I did change a lot of different things, okay? And so I will write that in, all of my things that I'm doing for the ministry, all of those days are written in here. Anything that I'm doing in terms of family worship is written here on Thursdays, our meetings on Wednesday and on Sunday. So that is written on my monthly calendar, okay? So that's pretty much all that I do. I come to this calendar section, I come to the home section for Addison School, I come to my financial section, and then my fitness section if I'm planning on a monthly basis. So that's everything that I do at the end of the month, okay? And then sometimes at the end of the month or earlier, then I'll go ahead and I'll plan my week out, okay? There's lots of things going on in this week, okay? So I'm gonna break it down to you and then I'm gonna remove it, all right? I have this little page here that reminds me of some spiritual things that I can do just to keep on track. I love this page here. This is from our new subscription box that's coming out. It's called Crisp and Cozy Fall. It's so beautiful. And then I added these page marker here so that way I can write some quick notes, all right? And this helps me to get to the section of my planner quickly. All right, then I have lots of journal cards that remind me of different things, like this is a morning routine, an evening routine, some major goals or main goals. And then on the back, I've got some habits. I have a color code key and a planner routine that I can go ahead and write in as well. So I love our journaling cards. We have several different varieties of journaling cards, okay? All right, when it comes to our weeklies, we are planning by the week now. There's lots of different sections. I go into those main sections that I showed you. So go ahead and plan out my week, all right? So this is how a typical week will look for me. All right, and you guys know that I'm using these new inserts, which I absolutely love. They are the weekly all-in-one inserts, and I love them because you pretty much have everything that you need here within the spread. So I do add the menu plan page or the meal planner pages just because it works for me when I'm doing my grocery list. And then I also move over from the fitness section, this insert here, so that way I see it in front of me, I know what I need to eat, and I can check things off as a part of my monthly spread. So that way I'm not toggling back and forth between two different or multiple sections, because I'm already toggling in this section and then mainly my work section. And so that's why I decided to move my work section here, so that way it's right in the same area, okay? And so when it comes to planning my week out, as you can see, I've got important things here. So this is where I'll put my bills. So you see I have these 4 bills I need to pay, okay, as a part of this week, all right? And then I have my habits here that I can check off Monday through Sunday. These are the habits that I just rewrite in every single week. Then I have a calendar here. And on the calendar, I have highlighted some days, and that all corresponds with this monthly that I know that we have things going on. That way, as the month goes along, I don't have to keep coming back here to see what we got going on. I can just look here, and then whatever that is for the week that we have going on will be on the weekly column as well. But I can just come here really quick and I can see a little at a glance for the month, okay? So this is a great little feature of this. I have my top 3 here, and then I also put the menu here. Now these inserts in that particular section says something different. It says checklist. You can use it for a checklist, but I white it out. And then this is where I put my menu for the week. It's got enough spots for me to be able to put Monday through Sunday, okay? And then when I'm ready to plan out my meals for the week, after I've figured out what we want to have, then I'll go in and I'll do my grocery list. And to be honest with you, most of the time when I'm figuring out what we're going to have, I'm going to see what the ingredients are. I'm going to see what we have on hand and what we have in the fridge, freezer, pantry, and all of that. And then I'm going to write what we need remaining on the shopping list. I'm going to do that all at the same time. So I write it in, and then I do this kind of at the same time. And then once I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and write it here, just so I have it here on the main spread, okay? And then in terms of my weeklies are pretty much structured the same exact way. I typically put at the top here what I'm doing spiritually. So my spiritual schedule, like my weekly Bible reading is done on Mondays, Treasures Prep on Tuesdays, Congregation Bible Study on Wednesdays, Apply Plus Living Thursday, Watchtower on Friday and Saturday, and then my personal study. And I like to write in what I'm doing typically. If I'm, that's typically my personal time to do my own study of whatever. And I like to write in what that is. So that's always going to be at the top because I think that's the most important thing. And I want to make sure that is the first thing on my list so I can make sure I get it done. Also, a part of this is my daily text, and that's what you see here. And then I'll check it off the days of the weeks as I'm completing them. Okay. And then I put in all of the appointments and things that we're doing. So this typically isn't standard stuff, unless it's like, our meeting, Zoom and stuff like that. That is standard stuff, but it's typically going to be just like to-do list things that need to get done, outings, things like that are gonna go here. As you can see, like wash linen, our family bike ride, you know, what chapter of the Bible I wanna read. I'm supposed to be playing tennis with a friend. Some things I've gotta do, things I've gotta, you know, just reminders and things like that are all gonna go here on this page. So I love the structure of this because I feel like this gives you your schedule here. It gives you some reminders and things like that on the left-hand side, also at the top, and everything all fits on one page. And it's just like I said, a weekly all-in-one layout, and it's a beautiful thing, okay? Then I also like to track my zone cleaning and what room that is. If you're not familiar with zone cleaning, it's basically where you pick a section of your house and you focus on that for that day, and then every day is a different focus or zone. All right, so I've got all of that written in here, and then I check it off as I'm completing those things. Okay, and then in our ministry, I like to have my presentation, what I'm gonna say, and then also the scripture I'm working on, and any friends that may need prayers or checking in on, I like to write that here at the bottom. I'm a slacker this week, so I haven't quite done that yet, but I do plan on doing this today, so that way I'm prepared when I go out on Friday and Saturday, okay? So this is an anatomy of a planner spread, I guess, or how like my typical week would look. And this layout for me is so functional. And then again, we have our menu plan for the week. All right, and so this gives me every single thing that I'm eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and my snacks, along with my calorie counter, my water, my sleep, and my workout tracker. Okay, and then because this right here is only giving me dinner, this gives me every single thing. So I like having this popped in just for quick reference. So this is how my weekly spread looks. So this is what I would do next. And there's only a couple of things that I put here in this weekly spread from various other sections. And that's really only from the financial section, which is the bills. From the school section, if there's a test or something like that, I'll put that here. Anything super important, I might pull from other sections, but for the most part, this is just for my life. It doesn't, not anything work related or anything like that. Unless, again, like I said, there's something important I need to see, okay? And so this is how my weekly spread would look. I love layering, so I do keep a lot of different things in here. And this just makes me want to use my planner when I see how beautiful and vibrant the colors are. I see that everything's all written in and in order. It just makes me want to use my planner, okay? All right, so then I will move on to my work section. I know it seems like a lot of planning too, you guys, but this is just what works for me, so do what works for you. You could actually do all of this in one planner section, and that should work just fine. I like to split mine up because my brain works in sections, okay? And I know when I'm done with work, I can close that off and I'm focusing on personal, and so on and so forth, depending on the section of my planner, okay? So we've already planned our month, remember? So then it would be down to planning my week out, okay? When it comes to planning my week, I pull things from my monthly. So I'm gonna pull all of those YouTube videos for that week, and I'm gonna write those in here. And the only thing I keep here is this ruler. And by the way, everything is available at Fancy Plans Co. So I'm not gonna keep saying it. This is the only time I'm saying it, okay? And including this. So I just put little reminders on here. It's kind of like a dashboard of sorts. And then again, I don't do much color or anything when it comes to my weeklies. I'm so much more of a simple girl. Every now and then I will, but I feel like sometimes I just wanna see pen to paper, and that's good enough for me. And so I changed my layout. I was using our subject style layout. Now I'm using our teacher style. I love it because it gives me one additional section at the top. So this is all shop related stuff, all YouTube, all short form video related, my affiliates I'm working with, brand deals, enrichment and learning, and my bulk filming. Now this has been a game changing section because I'm able to come here and write in all of the videos that I need to film for the week. And then as I'm filming them, I schedule them in Notion, or actually I first schedule them in Notion and then I film them. And then I add them to my short form video section here. I have an A for AtHomeWithQuita, an F for Fancy Plans Co., and a C for my Content to Cash, which is my new place where I'm sharing different tips and things on how you can become an affiliate marketer if that's a goal of yours. So I have all of those details below. If you didn't know, I do have a full detailed ebook, and it breaks everything down. And so check my description box and you'll see the details for that. Also some freebies as well if you just want to kind of see what it's all about. Okay, so this is how a typical week would look for me. So I do my YouTube videos for the week, whatever I'm filming, and then I'll put a little spot here for thumbnails so I can check it off, because sometimes I do my thumbnail ahead of time and sometimes I wait the day of, it just depends, and sometimes I'll do it in bulk. And so I like to be able to write that in so I know that the thumbnail is done. Okay, and then again, all of my content planning is done in Notion, and it's just pretty much transferred onto here with the exception of a couple of sections like my shop section and my enrichment section, bulk filming, stuff like that. It's really just for content planning, and it allows me to do that digitally, you know, so I don't always have to pull out my planner, and it would be super bulky if I had all of my content ideas and everything in my planner. So I just keep that in Notion. So this is how it would look for me. I have a little spot here for notes. So I'll write in notes. I have another campaign coming up with TikTok. And so I like to write in some things so I don't forget that. And so this is pretty much how I plan from week to week. And then I just start to check things off as I'm completing them, okay? So this would be the next part of the process, is to plan my week out. And I only plan 1 week at a time, okay? Just so you know. All right, and I'll pull things from my inbox too, because remember, I am dumping things in my inbox that pertain to various sections of my planner, not just my regular calendar section. All right, I don't really do too much with routines. This is just really for reference, and I'm gonna do a whole video on my routines. If you haven't seen these before, they're pretty in-depth, and you guys always have questions about this. So I'll do another video on my routines, because a lot of this stuff here is what you've seen so far on my calendar, okay? So I just used this for reference. Like you saw my faith schedule, all of these things were on the top part of my schedule. And then my work schedule, a lot of these were on that work monthly and weekly spread that you just saw. So I love having this in here for reference. I do also do some other things when it comes to my planner routines, and I just write that in here just to remind myself to check for these things, all right? But this is a great starting point for you to grab one of these, so that way you could just keep it in your planner, and you'll be able to have a little, reference point to be able to create or start doing a consistent planner routine. Okay, when it comes to goals, this is also another thing that I typically do at the beginning of the month. I'll write in all of my goals. So I did forget to mention this. And so I write everything out by life area. As you can see, we've got the different areas of my life that I like to have goals for. And so I do plan this out as well. And some of these things I've turned into systems. So make sure to go and check my video out about why you should be doing systems, as well as to how powerful systems are. So check that video out, okay? So we've done our regular calendar, we've done our work calendar. So now what I would do in terms of weekly planning is I would go into the school section. So remember, we've already done our monthly. So now we'd be coming to the weekly. I use the dashboard layout for that, and I'm pretty much pulling things from that monthly and putting them on the weekly, and then I'm adding some additional things. This gives me a little bit more space to be more in depth with what I want to do. And so I come here and I'll typically, this is my first week doing it this way, by the way. We used to use a completely different method, which was just a 1-sheet page, but I felt like I needed a little bit more. So now I'm able to put her lunch menu for the week, and then all the things that we want to do here at home. And then I also have some to-do list reminders and things like that. So that's what I would do next, is go ahead and plan out her weekly. All right. And then we've already talked about finances, which is done on a monthly basis. I'm only checking in here to see what bills need to be paid so I can transfer them onto my weekly calendar that I just showed you. And then when it comes to fitness, I showed you kind of how I do that as well. I do typically only just do fitness on a weekly basis because it a lot can change. And so I don't really plan out my monthly when it comes to fitness. And then also I do take note of those items that I need to buy at the grocery store at the same time as I'm doing my fitness planning. And so I'll do my dinner ideas for the family, and then I'll do my fitness plan for myself, and then I'll buy all of the stuff at one time. Okay. And then also, we already talked about faith. This is a section where I come in for reference, and when I'm getting ready to see what I'm doing, what is the next chapter that I'm reading, I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to put it on my weekly schedule, as you saw before. So some of these sections are just for reference to pull information from, to put in my schedule, so that way I can remember to do them, and I'll put them in the different section that they pertain to. So as you can see, my weekly Bible reading here, just for my personal reading. And then once I get done with this, then I'll move on to the next reading. So I kind of just take it slow. And there's so many other things that I have to do and be prepared for during the week that I want to make sure that I'm being realistic with what I can accomplish. Okay, so that is pretty much everything that I do on a consistent monthly basis to make sure that I am prepared for what's to come in my monthly and my weekly spreads. So again, I know it seems like a lot, but for me, it works very well, and I'm loving the method, and I'm able to get so much done only because of this planner. And that's why I do an all-in-one catch-all planner, so that way I can just keep everything all together. I don't have to worry about where things are, grabbing different planners. I know know it's all here. Okay, so again, the main sections that I'm going to toggle to is going to be my calendar section, and my work section, and my financial section, home section where Addison's schooling stuff is, and then fitness, I'll grab that insert so that I can put it in my weekly, so that way it's right here and ready for me to use. And then any other meal planner related insert like this is going to also be in that section for home, so I can grab one of these to put it in my week. And I typically always do this, or I'll do just a list so I can write in my groceries and go ahead and order those. And that's pretty much how I plan, you guys. And again, that just makes me the most productive me that I can be. And so again, just to talk you through it one more time, just so you have it all in one little sentence here, or one little blurb. Starts in with my at a glance pages, writing in all the things for that particular month, either planning ahead by the month or just planning for that particular month. I take what's here and I add that onto my monthly calendar. And in my monthly calendar, I typically keep 3 months. As you can see, I've got 2 because I purged out the previous month. Okay, I come here, put all of that on my monthly section, take this off and transfer it to the next month. So that way I know the bills, although I do transfer them to my weekly, which is here. Okay, write in all of my tasks, my habits, my top 3, my meal planning, all that stuff that pertains to my personal life in this section. All right, I track my fitness, what I'm eating, and all of that here. And then in my work section, I do pretty much the exact same thing, except I don't have all of the things that pertain to my life. I only really have the monthly calendar here and the weekly calendar. Okay, and then I do my financial stuff. So I'll come in here, figure out what I'm making, and then I'll start to track my bills and what the balance is and whether or not they're paid. And then I transfer those bills onto my weekly, as you saw, to remind myself, but I do come here to check them off. Okay, and then faith is just for reference, but you saw it in my weekly spread, what I'm planning on doing for that particular week. And then my goals, which we talked about briefly as well. I have life area goals, and I come here and I just write them in, and I do check in here to make sure that I'm on track with my goals as well. And that, I think, my friends, is pretty much it. I just wanted to give you a quick little rundown one more time so that you had a good sense overall of how this thing works for me, and you can pull some ideas from what I do and implement them into your planner routine, and hopefully that works for you. Okay, remember that we do have a whole planner routine insert that's vellum or paper inserts just like this that you can grab to be able to help you to develop your planner routine. There's some standard things you can do, and there's also some things that you can write in here to remind yourself of, and then on the backhand side as well. So this is a great little insert to add to your routines. I think everybody should have a planner routine, and this planner routine may seem a little overwhelming to you, so scale it to what works for you, and you don't have to do all the things that I do, okay? You can just pick and choose and pull from what you think would work for you, okay? We should all be learning from each other, and there's so much that I learned here in the community to be able to develop my own system, and now I kind of got the hang of it, okay? This is also a good insert to have 100 things to track in your planner. There's sometimes or some of you have shared that you don't feel like you're busy enough to use a planner. And when you start to look at these things, you realize how busy you are, okay? You just need a way to track it so that way you can make sure you're getting that stuff done, okay? So this is also a great little insert. It's vellum, and so I just keep this in here to use as a reference to make sure that I'm planning for all those things I need to plan for. All right, guys, so that is it for this video. So I hope you really enjoyed it. I enjoyed sitting down with you guys today and sharing with you my planner routine. Again, comment below. Let me know if you want to see a full planner flip through of this updated planner, which is completely different. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff in here, so I will definitely share that with you if it's something that you want to see. Remember also that our planner box is coming out soon. I'll be sharing a video here on YouTube this week, and our collection club box is still going, meaning that if you want to opt in and subscribe to our quarterly subscription box, it is available to opt in until the 9th of this month. So you got 4 more days, okay? And again, it is called Crisp and Cozy Fall. It's got a lot of gold vibes and embellishments. It's super pretty. You guys are gonna love it. So you can get in now, and that way when the box ships at the end of the month, you will be included in that round, okay? And also lastly, like I mentioned earlier, I do have a full-on ebook. If you're interested in learning affiliate marketing, Fancy Plans Co. also has an affiliate marketing program, which you can subscribe to as well, or you can get into if you want to make a little extra cash through promoting our products. So check All of the links in the description, everything will be there for you guys. All right, sorry to keep rambling. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions about this setup. I do appreciate you joining me and watching. Hopefully you'll subscribe to this channel if you're new here, and you'll give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. And of course, I want you to come back and catch another video, in which case I'll see you then.